Hello guys, this is Adam and this is the WavLink selected, and it's a dock station that is a Thunderbolt 5. It does have multiple connections as well, and it has a lot of cool stuff that we will be talking about. Starting with, you can actually run two 8K displays if you have those, and you can run triple 4K displays at 144 Hz. Also, there is a 12-in-1, so basically there is 12 connections right here of all sorts, and then you can upstream charging up to 140 watts, so that even can charge a MacBook Pro M1 Max. And there is a built-in fan as well to cool the dock, because this is a very high-end dock in terms of the performance and such. It does have 80 gigabits, and that's if you are using Thunderbolt 5. If you are using Thunderbolt 4, it will definitely be lower than that. But let's go ahead and open it right now and see what we are working with. Wow, that is actually cool. So this is basically the Thunderbolt dock. Let's see what's inside. A brochure. I almost thought this is a disc, but it's not. But you have a brochure for instructions and such. So it seems like this here have a lot of stuff. So let's go ahead and open it and see what type of stuff we have inside. So this is actually a power source. So it seems like this needs to be connected to power to work, because it's a heavy dock station. So it's not like you're gonna connect it through your laptop or through your Mac and then you will be good to go. Which, speaking of which, I will test it with the M1 MacBook Pro, and also I will be testing it later in a later video with the Mac Mini right here that you can see. You get this cable, which is from WavLink, and I would assume this is a Thunderbolt 5 cable, and actually it is a Thunderbolt 5 because it does have the distinction of Thunderbolt 5 right here on it. So there's that. And this is basically my very first Thunderbolt 5 cable. I do have Thunderbolt 4, but not Thunderbolt 5. And even here, the Mac Mini actually does not have a Thunderbolt 5. It has 3 inputs of Thunderbolt 4. However, in the future, when I get Thunderbolt 5, I will definitely test that as well. And I am sure if you have a Thunderbolt 5 machine, you will be good to go. Especially the new machines with the M5 and such, especially if you are gonna end up taking the M5 Pro and such. All of these machines will be having some sort of Thunderbolt 5 for you to check out. That is your power brick. And this power brick output 230 watts, which is very common, taking into account that is what my razor blade actually needs. And the power brick for that, it was about the same size as this. And it comes with a screwdriver as well, which we will figure out why we might need that, or maybe we wouldn't need it. Now let's go ahead and open the dock station itself. It is hefty. Not like super heavy, but it's definitely hefty, and holy cow, this thing is built really well. The color, I thought it's gonna be silver, but it's almost like dusty, like it almost reminds me of the titanium dust color with the iPhone 16 that came out. So this is what we have right here, and actually it looks really nice and it looks really cool. We do have inputs right here, so basically you have USB-C, USB-C, both are Thunderbolt 5. Then you have 10 gigabit USB right here, and then 10 gigabit USB right here as well. Here you have 2.5 gigabit Ethernet power input right here, which is a DC for 20 volts. Then on the other side, you do have your power button, power delivery USB-C, so this will be actually giving about 30 watts. Here, this, as you can see, will be actually for your Mac or laptop. This can power up to 140 watts. Keep in mind, all the MacBook Pros actually accept 140 as their maximum. So if you have an M2 or an M3 or an M4 or even M5 when it comes out in the future, and that would be like the Max series, so M1 Max, M2 Max, or M3 Max, or M4 Max, this actually will power it to the fullest, because usually these machines takes 140 watts. And then here you do have another 10 gigabit USB, and here another 10 gigabit USB, and here you have your SD card and micro SD card as well, especially if you were a creator and creating videos and such, that would come in handy. And here you have your headphone jack, which can take a microphone as well. These actually are a lot of inputs, and here I forgot to mention it have a lock for you to use. And that's how it looks like in a general sense. So right now I have the dock on the left side, and also the laptop is right here. This is the M1 Max MacBook Pro, and I am going to plug this Thunderbolt 5 cable into the M1 Max right here. Now keep in mind the M1 Max only support Thunderbolt 4, so we're gonna go ahead and let me plug it actually on the other side. So I'm just gonna go from here, and then I'm just gonna plug it right here. Here we go. So right now it's connected, and as you can see here at the top, it's saying 82% and it's charging as well. So what I did, I simply turned it off and turned it on again just to see if that would work, and actually it was working, and right now it's giving me this that it's charging. I want to see how many watts it's actually charging right now. I would assume it's 15 watts, and the reason for that is because I did not connect it to this, which is the 140 watts max right here. I did not connect it to that. I connected to a normal USB-C, and then from system information we go to power, and then from power we can see that actually the wattage is 15. So I was correct. If you use a normal cable, it will only give you 15 wattage, which is enough for like a MacBook Air or for an iPhone or for like an Android phone, but it's not enough for a laptop, I would say, because we started at 82%. Right now we are at 81% because we are losing power, even though the power source is power adapter, but I have the device on high power mode, so basically it's consuming a lot of battery life. Now what I want to do, I want to change it, and then we will go and plug it to the 30 watt. We do have the 30 watt option. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it to the 30 watt option, and then we will see how that looks like. And then from system information we're gonna go to power, and as you can see, exactly it's saying, hey, we are getting 30 watts just as indicated into that port. I want to change and do the 140. So as you can see right here, there is the 140 watts, which should give me the full power that this device can take. So I'm gonna unplug that, and then plug it right here, and now it's reading the whole accessory, and actually the color changed from red to green, and I believe now the accessory as a whole is working. So not only the device is being powered, but everything else you have access to, so you can plug in external stuff. Now with that, I'm gonna go ahead and open system information again, but before that I want to note something. I have modified actually my Mac to take maximum of 96 watts, so we should see 96 instead of 140. It's not a fault of this per se, but it's more of me modifying my machine so it will not take 140 watts, and there you go. So when we go to wattage, actually it's 96, which is what I have modified the machine to take as a maximum, and it would not take 140. Now in terms of why is that and yada yada, maybe I will talk about it in another video, but that is not the point right now. The point is you are getting the full power right here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna bring a hard drive, an external hard drive, and I am going to connect it and see. As a dock, this serves more of something that you leave at home, and as soon as you sit down, you simply plug that cable into your Mac, or for example even your Mac Mini as well, and then that dock should have your hard drives, all your stuff, and then simply it will power it up. I don't think it's meant for you to take it with you. Now of course you can take it with you and such, but you need a power outlet for you to run it while you are outside. I think getting something smaller would definitely do the trick, but for this I am sure this is more of a stationary thing that you just leave at home and then you will work with. So I do have 3 hard drives. So there is this hard drive, which is for an Xbox 360, and it's a normal USB 3, and I do have a normal small USB that is usually I use for formatting computers, and I do have my Frankenstein thingy, which I told you about, and that is simply an NVMe SSD that is inside that is put into this enclosure, and this enclosure have both USB-C and USB, and we will use USB-C. So as you can see right now, basically I do have the install macOS monitor. That's the normal USB flash drive that I told you about, which I use to format computers. And then there's this hard drive right here, which is the no name, and I can assure you this one is the one for the Xbox. So if we can go ahead and open it, it has some stuff that are related to the Xbox right here. And also there is my hard drive right here, which we can open, and basically Blender 5.0, that is simply to transfer files when I was testing, and then something you should not know about. And also there is a ZBrush here, some stuff from an artist called Wanda. I do have them, all of them here. Now what I want to do, I want to test actually the speed of this first hard drive right here. So I'm gonna open Blackmagic. I'm gonna go ahead and then select the target drive. Then I'm gonna go ahead and select Atom drive and then open. And let's go ahead and see the speed. Basically we're looking at 1,000, and then I'm gonna unplug it, and then I will go ahead and plug it directly into the Mac. I'm gonna go ahead and do Blackmagic again. If we get faster speeds, I think I have an idea about what's going on, but let's go ahead and test it. It's the same speed. So basically the limitation is actually the enclosure itself and not necessarily the hard drive, because like 870 to 900, and then here it's 869, so it's not a huge difference. And basically the limitation is the enclosure itself, because the enclosure, the maximum speed that it can go to obviously is 1 gigabyte, as it seems from this test. Meaning if you have a hard drive that is actually faster than that, you can plug it into this and then you will be good to go. And also, as I said, it does accept SD cards now. So basically here I have this SanDisk 256 Extreme Pro SD card, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and put that SD card right here. And when you put it, just make sure you put it in, and then you hit it where you hear a click. And here we got this from my Lumix camera. So basically here, everything that I had into the Lumix camera is actually right here, and then you should be good to go. So if I go into the files, I can see that everything is working. And this is from a very old video that I did when I was actually doing an unboxing for an Apogee Duet. These are the videos for it, and I believe this was for an iPhone 12 mini as well at the time, and they are opening without any issues. And simply here, that's where the SD card is at, and the SD card is working just fine. Do I recommend this? Yes, I do recommend it. I think it's a really high-end piece of machinery. The reason I say this, because this is not something you get where you just get because you want to take with you and then go anywhere. This is more of a high-end dock that is Thunderbolt 5, which means it's a future proof, and it's more of a literally docking station. You plug it to power, you put it at home, and as soon as you connect everything that you need to it in terms of monitors, SD cards, hard drives, whatever that might be, and as soon as you get home, you take the cable, you plug it into your MacBook, and then all of a sudden you have external storage, you have your external monitor as such. So it's an extension of the laptop that you already have, whether that was Mac or Windows. This is meant for people who are professionals. This is meant for people who are working on a 3D project, doing creative stuff or whatever that might be, and then you would have this dock, you would connect all your USBs and hard drive to it, your SD card if you are into that. This is the best docking station I have ever had, tested, or even had the luxury of actually owning.